to be successful in investing, one of the things that you want to do is to be buying when everybody else is selling and selling when everybody else is buying. In other words, you should have a lot of interest in a subject when everybody else is disinterested, and you should be disinterested when everybody else is interested. And one thing we've noticed is that whenever gold and silver are rising, we get a lot more views when a video is about gold and silver than when gold and silver have been falling for a little while, like they have recently. But this is actually when you should be taking in the most information, because it means that there's an opportunity coming up somewhere, and you want to be prepared to take advantage of that opportunity. Now, one of the things I want to talk about is the world's central banks have put themselves in a box. It's going to be very difficult for them to extract themselves from this box without making a mess of the world economy. One of the things that they've done is massive currency creation that has created asset bubbles in the places that that currency first goes. When they create currency through quantitative easing or open market operations, that goes into the stock market, brokerage houses, banks, creates asset bubbles in those areas. When they did the recent rounds of stimulus through government checks and stuff, when the government is paying individuals based on currency that the Federal Reserve created, then what you see then is it flows into the retail sector, and it creates inflation in retail goods and services. And that's what we have been seeing now. The world's central banks are all saying that, well, inflation is running too hot, we're going to have to raise interest rates, and we're going to have to cut back on our currency creation, or actually take back some currency and destroy it, extinguish that currency that has been created. And so I see some storm clouds on the horizon. I see a tough time for the world's central banks coming up very shortly. And part of the reason for that is because of something I'm going to refer to as, a global problem when it comes to the people's personal well-being, I'll say. I don't want to get any of those stupid banners below this video. I don't want to get on any lists, and so I'm going to be talking in a little bit of code for the next couple of minutes, because there are algorithms that just pick this stuff out. But this thing that's been going on for almost 2 years, there have been a couple of variations on the theme. And if you understand what I'm talking about when I say variations on a theme, things happen in waves and cycles. I've got to frame it in stock market jargon. We've seen several waves in this big super cycle that we're going through. And there is this final wave coming up, and this is a brand new variation on a theme. And the thing is, when you're transferring stuff from one party to another party, some things are more transferable than other things. I can't say certain words. And there's this brand new variation on a theme that's only been around for a couple of weeks. But what they've discovered so far is that it is much, much more transferable. There is a possibility, though, that when it comes to downside risk, there's much less downside risk with this brand new variation on the theme. But you can expect governments around the world to overreact to this again, because of how transferable this particular asset is between parties. So this new bubble that we're going in, this new wave that's going to lead into a bubble, is going to happen very rapidly. As it does, you're going to see government responses to this. Now, this is globally. This is in the United States. And you can see that this new asset bubble is just barely taking off in the United States. But look for this to just absolutely explode over the next month and a half or so, because of how easily you can transfer this asset from one party to another. I shouldn't call it an asset. This is more of a liability. You can transfer these liabilities very quickly. I'm sorry I'm laughing. This isn't funny, but the point is that the world's central banks want to cut back on, they want to raise interest rates and cut back on currency creation, and that is not going to happen.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race. You're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Marco Stan, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I intend, how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Marco Stan.